Since I fitted the Radar Renegade A Sport to my Fortuner 3 months ago, I've done nearly 5,000 kilometers, and in this video I'm going to give you my thoughts on how they performed, including tread wear, and we're going to look at the off-road performance. Now, like most people that own 4x4s these days, I do 90% or more on tar roads. These tires were fitted 3 months ago. I've done 4,560 kilometers, and most of that was in town or on the highway. Some dirt roads, but not a lot of hardcore off-road, and that's where most 4x4s spend their time. Now, that's also why I chose the all-terrain tires, the ATs, not the RT or rugged terrain tires. And they are much more aggressive looking. I did consider it, but to be honest, this Fortuner is a holiday car. We're going to tow with it long distance, mostly on the tar road. So they will last longer, and it'll be safer and it'll be quieter. That said, an all-terrain tire is still supposed to perform off-road, and it's for that 10% of the times where you're off in a neighboring country, Botswana, Namibia, and there's a rough section and you have to pass through it to get to your destination. So it is good to know that they can perform when it matters. Now, 3 months ago, I made a video when I fitted it with my first impressions. You can go check out the video here. But as before, a quick disclosure, Radar Tyres in Singapore contacted me to ask me to review these new tires. I didn't pay for them, and I'm also not getting paid to say anything nice. So I am going to give you my honest opinions, and as far as possible, I'll try to keep any performance tests as scientific as possible. But as you know from this channel, my scientific methods are sometimes a bit questionable, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for better tests. So the thing I get asked about most is the tire noise. And it's very difficult to test that scientifically. So in the first video, I did a quick decibel test with my iPhone decibel meter. You can go check it out there. But after driving almost 5,000 kilometers with this now on the tar, I can say yes, there is a bit of a hum. But if I weren't testing the tire specifically, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. And certainly no one else that's driven with me has said, wow, these tires are noisy. The next thing is that I looked at the fuel consumption. So I keep a very detailed record of the fuel consumption. Every single time I fill up, I take the kilometers and the liters and I calculate it. So I'll show the spreadsheet quickly on the screen. But since I fitted the tires, I have seen more double-digit figures. Make of it what you want. Also, I ran 2.5 bar all around since I fitted the tires. So what I did to measure the wear was to measure the spare wheel, which is new, so I haven't used it yet, at a few places, and that gave me 11.2 and 10.9 millimeters. The official depth, according to Radar Tyres, is 11.5 millimeters. So the reason why there's a small difference is there's serrations at the base of the tire. So I averaged it, and that gave me 11.2 millimeters, which I used as new tread. Then I measured the left rear tire, and I should have done all the tires and averaged it, but I just took the rear left tire and I measured at the same point on the pattern, the tread pattern, and that gave me 10.4, 10.8 and 10.7 millimeters. So that averaged at 10.63 millimeters. So now the difference is basically how much rubber I used in the 5,000 kilometers, which was 0.57 millimeters. I measured up to the tread wear indicator. The problem is there's a few different ones. So I reached out to Radar, and they mentioned that there's a 4.5 millimeter indicator for snow conditions, which is irrelevant for us in South Africa. So the official tread wear limit is at 1.6 millimeters. So now I calculated the usable tread, and that's the difference between the 11.2 millimeters of new tread down to the 1.6 millimeters, which equates to 9.6 available rubber to use over the life of the tire. If I divide that by what I actually used, the 0.57 millimeters, and multiply it by the distance of 4,560 k's, I get to an estimated range of 76,800 kilometers, which is not bad for driving with 2.5 bar tires, mostly on hot tarmac. Now, if we run it down to the legal SA limit of 1 millimeter, that goes up to around 81,600 kilometers. So I think that's pretty good, but we'll only know after a lot more kilometers, and I'll redo this test at around 10,000 Ks. So what I should really do next time is measure all 4 tires and average that, and I'll do that at around 10,000 Ks. Let me know what you think of this test, or if there's anything else I can do to more reliably measure the tread wear. So how do these Radar Renegade all-terrain sports fare off-road? Now, to be honest, I didn't do much off-roading in the last 5,000 kilometers, but I did take them out to a local 4x4 track to see how they perform. Now, to be honest, I didn't check the tire pressures at all in the last 5,000 kilometers or since fitted them. And so before we did the off-road test, I measured all 4 corners and they were all at 2.5 bar. So I assume that is what the tire fitment place pumped them to when I fitted them. And I also assume then that they didn't lose any air, which is great over 3 months. So then I deflated all 4 tires to 1.6 bar to increase the contact patch for more traction. So after selecting low range, I did a few rocky inclines without any trouble at all. On one cross-axle loose gravel section, I got so confident that I went too slow and I just didn't have enough momentum. I tried it again with a bit more momentum and it was super easy to get up there with Fortuner. Now yes, I know these are not grade 5 obstacles, but they are definitely more hardcore than what you can expect on your average cross-country trip in a neighboring country or in a game reserve. So I think these tires performed very well for tires that are meant mostly for tar road, but that can also do some dirt road section. Now, one obstacle or situation that I really hate driving through is mud and water. Mainly because it's very bad for your car and also because it's a pain to clean. But in the interest of testing the tires, and since we had our season's first rain, I took the Fortuner out for a quick spin through some mud to see how they fare and how the tires self-clean the mud when you drive off. Now this wasn't the thickest mud, so there was no risk of getting stuck there, but they did cake on the tires and you can see for yourself. So this was totally unnecessary. I hate mud because I need to wash all of this off afterwards. Just to give you an idea, this is what it looks like immediately after, so it's pretty wet still. So let's see what it looks like after a kilometer or two, whether it self-cleans the grooves. I can hear it flinging mud everywhere. Whoa, look, the beautiful skies today. I literally just drove about 200 or 300 meters on the tarmac, and this is what they look like now. This is the front tires, so you can see it's already flung most of the mud out of the grooves. Look how dirty that is. So this was literally 200 or 300 meters on the tarmac, and in the rear also you can see the deep tread there. So it's already almost clean, so it's cleaning itself amazingly well. Unfortunately, I have to clean all of that. So I'm driving a kilometer down the open road, and let's see what it looks like now. So after 1 kilometer on the tar road, it's practically clean. A little bit of mud left, but I mean, it's mostly gone, except that isn't. So in conclusion, I am super happy with these Radar Renegade A Sports. They're not too noisy, the fuel consumption is good, they perform well off-road, and the tire wear looks like they're going to last quite a long time. So let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions on what to do with these tires to test them properly, and then I'll give you another update 3 months from now. Thank you for watching.